You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, sports fans. It's a big one. I'm Marcus J. Richardson.
And I'm Adam Thorn.
And today we are talking about AJ versus Parker. Adam, what are you wearing?
It's my calm vest.
Well, it's not making me very calm at the moment, mate. Why? Why?
Dylan White video, you said that my top was too faded, so I thought I'd wear something that was less faded.
Well, it's definitely less faded. I'm not being funny. Definitely not going to get run over in that, are you?
No, that's not
what's this calm thing about? Talk to me.
Calm, very important men's mental health charity. They do
Okay.
a lot of good work. Wonderful charity.
Of course.
And so I just wanted to give them a shout out. TheCalmZone.net.
Support Calm. And now let's talk about AJ. So was there a reason why the vest was worn? Is that got any relation to AJ?
Well, you keep constantly going on about...
Colour?
No, not colour.
Not people of colour. Not people of colour. Clothes of colour.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Anyway, let's crack on to the boxing. Yeah, AJ Parker. Wilder won. That basically means this is like the playoff. Almost like the unofficial World Boxing Super Series. I mean, it's not, but it kind of is, isn't it?
No, this is the final. Continue using that
You think
analogy.
Parker's ahead of Wilder?
To fight AJ is to fight the top guy in the division.
Of course
Wilder
it
is not the top guy in the division. AJ is.
Yeah, I know that, but at the same time, the fight everybody wants is Wilder.
AJ. Yeah, of course.
Wilder AJ. So hypothetically, Parker beats AJ. Therefore, Parker is going to be going up against Wilder, is he not?
You would think so. You would think Wilder would fancy that, take the belts, then
Unify
get himself an absolutely delicious fight with AJ because
he's getting more of a split.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was leading up to. Yeah, he wanted the 50-50. He holds all 5 of the belts, and the governing bodies don't act up and take one off him for not fighting some mandatory. He would get the 60-40 split his way. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves because we're overlooking Joe Parker, and I actually think that's an unfair thing to do because he's not terrible. Got to bear in mind, like 6 months ago when he won the belt, people were going, AJ should fight him in uniform. Now the fight's been made. Quite a lot of people have been a bit like, oh, he's just going to knock him out really easy, and it's like, what?
No, I mean, he's
you know,
a
have
monster.
cake, eat cake.
Parker is a monster. Let's remember that all of these heavyweights, I mean, including Tyson Fury, they are huge in height. You know, I mean, obviously Wilder came in at like what 16 stone.
It was the lightest he's ever come in at. That was because he'd been ill for 2 weeks before the fight, apparently. Which says a lot about Wilder, that he was in the most dangerous fight of his life. He was ill and he still did it. He wants to prove how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, Ortiz had been inactive for a while, though, hadn't he? And
well, he'd been banned. They're taking loads of drugs, illegal drugs.
well, you know.
Or he might have got the Mexican beef defence.
We'll come on to that in a couple of other videos. Yes. Right, anyway, moving on. So, AJ Parker, let's talk about
Sold
this
out
now.
Principality Stadium in Cardiff.
Yeah.
The last 2 fights were 90,000 at Wembley, 80,000 for Takam at Principality, and again 80,000 for Joseph Parker. Now, it's just a huge fight. So unification, he's already got the IBF, the IBO and the WBA belts. He'll be adding the WBO belt. He's even kept the IBO, which is like not well thought of because he just wants to have literally every belt. He's doing it in an era, as we've discussed, where there's loads of good heavyweights. Look, fair play, this is going to be a cracking fight.
Because AJ's got a completely different attitude nowadays. He's just got that face. AJ means business.
Yeah,
When you hear him,
AJ's
you can see when people piss him off. Like, his eyes glaze over and his mouth just dips down a little bit. And the way he talks and the way he spoke about Wilder and how light he is, like, you can tell that AJ has a new belief. Because you know I've never been his biggest fan. I'm starting to like him.
I am as well. I've always enjoyed watching him fight. He's a
fucking brilliant.
But it was the media managed persona that people didn't get on with, which we talked about before. He's changed that, and I think that actually he's not an idiot, AJ, by any means. And I think he's the one that's changed it. It's not like somebody's got some PR team and they've come in and had croissants and lattes and gone, how can we make AJ seem more approachable?
He just looks angry,
mean and concentrated.
Mean. That's the word. And who's gonna win?
Well, let's build up to that.
Fuck that. Who's gonna win?
AJ.
Again, after everything we've just said, but do you think he's going to come away with it convincingly? Do you think he's going to be too strong?
They've made a lot about AJ's chin, but again, Joseph Parker's a really nice guy.
Who gives a shit about who's a nice guy?
Yeah, true.
Who's going to win?
I've just said AJ.
I mean, what's going to happen? You say no. Is it going to be convincing?
So let me get in this. Right, Joseph Parker, what he does is he stands in front of you, he moves his head, and he tries to throw shots. And against Hughie Fury, who was on the back foot the whole way through the fight, it just didn't make for a good fight. AJ's got big power. Now, AJ will be wary of getting hit. We all know that AJ can be dropped. Joseph Parker's movement isn't good enough, head movement isn't good enough to avoid an AJ right. And I think once an AJ right fight lands and that's it, night's over. I mean, even Klitschko found that out. I don't think that'll be the end of Joseph Parker, but knocking back a few pegs.
An Antipodean battle between him and Lucas Brown on the cards.
Well, that's a really good idea. I like that.
There you go.
Sometimes you do actually say sensible boxing.
Sometimes. It's rare, but when it happens, it's gold. Do you think it's going to be a KO? Do you think it's going to be points?
KO.
Yeah,
AJ KO.
AJ KO. There you go. There's your
And I
odds
think
for that.
before sort of 9th, 10th round, before the last quarter.
So let's include into the other British heavyweight that's fighting that night in a double. Tell us what's happening with Pricey. Is the Pricey right?
The Pricey is right. I'm so happy to see David Price get a big shot and get a big title fight on a big card where he's going to get lots of exposure and hopefully lots of money, but well paid for it. He's just like one of the most likeable people in the business, and I know people that are like genuinely friends with him, and they say exactly the same. Like,
But didn't he beat Tyson Fury in the amateurs?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and they had a little Twitter ding dong about it, and of course it was Tyson being a little bit spiteful in it. But Pricey was so disarmingly nice back. They then had a sort of little love-in, and it was quite sweet. If you don't know who David Price is, I don't know where you've been for the last few years. You've Team GB heavyweight, signed by then Frank Maloney, who he was threshing through opposition till he was stopped by Tony Thompson twice in a row. Now in those fights, there was just like he's worrying about his chin, worrying about his engine. When he gasses, you can stop him in easy. Tony Thompson has since tested positive for drugs. Price then rebuilt himself, went off with a new promotional crew, went to the Sauerland. Pricey then fought Erkan Tepe. Again got stopped. But then Tepe got stepped. Tepe tested positive for testosterone, I think it was. Tepe tested positive for
I mean, testosterone. I mean, do they want to suck off a bull or something? Like, how are they getting more testosterone?
I don't know how the physics of that would work. Anyway,
but the bulls. Well, you don't have to rub its back. I mean, I don't think you have.
Balls.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be like, caressing the.
Anyway, I mean, it's an injection when.
An injection. What, of sperm?
No,
Bull sperm.
When Amir Khan lost to Lamont Peterson, I don't think Lamont Peterson had some sort of pellet inserted into him.
But it is from a bull, though, isn't it?
I've literally no idea about. I don't care.
Because you don't want to suck off a bull.
I mean, never say never. 3 times he's lost to fighters that have been proven in the aftermath, then been cheating. But he then fought Christian Hammer, was winning that fight, was doing really well. And then this is when the old thing about his gassing comes in. His engine seemed to run out and he got stopped. 4 losses in his career. He's still got a good record. He's fighting for some spurious intercontinental titles against Alexander Povetkin. But this is why it's interesting. Alexander Povetkin is a proven 2-time drugs cheat. Boxing News editor Matt Christie, I love this, called him a performance-enhancing drugs connoisseur. When someone can say that about you without fear of reprisal, do you know what I mean? It's like it's not like he can go, that's slander. No, because you are a drugs connoisseur. You've got a smorgasbord of heads inside you. I suppose you could argue that the difference here is that he's fighting someone that's been caught twice rather than fighting someone before they get caught.
I see. Now, let's be straight. Who's going to win? Povetkin, Price?
I think the sensible money is on Povetkin, but it's heavyweight boxing and Pricey can punch. So if he lands, he's got a long reach, big powerful man. If he lands cleanly, let's see. Sensible money is on Povetkin.
What are the chances of Povetkin knockout?
Probably quite high.
If that's high, and you think that the chances of an AJ knockout are high, what we're going to do is we're just going to knock out some odds there for a knockout for both of them in a double, because that gives us a bit of a better odds of getting something a little tastier for your couple of quid that you're going to put on. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cards where there's loads of other fights on it, by the way, but we're just covering the 2 big heavyweight ones. You've also got Ryan Burnett. Ryan Burnett's been doing really well. He's in the Booth stable, isn't he? He's trained by Adam Booth. Yeah. So, I mean, the Adam Booth stable's getting better and better all the time, isn't it? And I think it'll be interesting to see what Burnett does next week. Yeah, and there's loads on the undercard, so it's just such a big card. It should be some great fights, should be plenty of knockouts. So actually this might be a pay-per-view you actually get your money's worth on. More often than not these days they do, because since the David Hay, Audley Harrison thing, he's kind of learned, Eddie Hearn, they've learned how to put a big card together. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Marcus J. Richardson. And I've been Adam Thorn. Until next time.
You're smoking something.